Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have an awesome little walk around of a rare bird. Let's bring you along. Behold the awesomeness that is the Case 310G sideliner. I have been trying to buy a pair of these out of Canada for a long time. They are a wide track version. This is a narrow track, but I was bumming around in the Jeep with the missus and came right up that road there, and my jaw hit the ground that there's one just setting on this beautiful concrete pad. Still has a cable in it. It's a gasser, just setting alongside the road. It is this company's sign for their business. I'm not going to reveal who the company is, but I did contact them and asked if I could film it, and they said go for it. So very cool to see. This is what it would be doing out in the real world if it was still used today. Of course, they use rigs that are much bigger, but awesome to see an old 310G out in the wild. I will be keeping my eye on this one since it's close to home, and if it ever does come up for sale, I will be trying my best to get it. We'll see what happens. Let's give her a thorough inspection. Starting right here at the tail. Rear end on the unit looks really awesome. On the Facebook group, a poor old boy bought one of these, and the entire casting up top is all blowed out like he got a big old gear tooth underneath, and just blew the rear end apart. So this would definitely be a good parts girl. Drawbar looks to be mint. Absolutely love that. It's got the heavy cast iron drawbar, sway block just like mine. Identical final drives. Look to be in great shape. This one is oily. This one is not. I imagine the old girl got sandblasted and painted at some point. Here you can see we've got some wasps coming out of the battery box. I won't get too close, but we got some crackled paint underneath. She's been painted 2 or 3 times probably to keep the sign up. Tracks on the old girl look pretty good. I'd say that's at least a 3/8 of an inch rail height, or browser height, excuse me. You'll have to pardon the wind today. Sprockets look to be in awesome shape. Undercarriage on these I don't think saw as much action as a true dozer or loader would have, because they just drive straight and lay pipe all day. That's their job. That's what they're built for. They definitely got the hours on them, but a lot of that was sitting at idle and waiting for someone to, you know, drop the pipe, pick it up, move it around, do things of that nature. Awesome to see. Sprocket on this side is identical. Still has the spoked sprocket. There's the number, 11822. See the orange paint coming through. So this would have been a orange undercarriage. Kind of interesting. It is the older style, doesn't have the grease zert track tensioner, still has the spring style. She's had some use. Lower rollers feel good. Bushings definitely have some wear on them. Don't know if that'll come through on camera. They would run a long time though yet. Wouldn't be any issue on those. Best I can tell, they haven't been turned. Yeah, they're still round on the top. Very cool. This side step has been kinked, let's say. That or someone may have strapped it down at that place at one time. A little hard to say. Has a 3-spool hydraulic valve. That kind of looks, I won't say that that's an original for the 310G. It's a little hard to tell. It's been a long time since I looked at a modern one. Moving on to the left side, undercarriage looks to be about the same. Sprocket looks great. Rail height looks pretty good. Here's a look at the master link of the tracks. Poor old girl's getting hogged out. That's pretty typical. Lower rollers, they look good. Not even grooved yet. These units, of course, never carried a lot of weight. I'm not exactly sure what a sideliner would be fully dressed, but they had pretty robust lower rollers for what they were. This is a 310G. Can't tell if that is a C310G or a G310G. And I really would love to scratch the paint off and reveal the serial number, but it's not my machine. They were already gracious enough to let me film it, so I'm not going to vandalize it, so to speak. I will take some good pictures. Hopefully it'll turn up. Take a look at the hour gauge here. Gotta lower you in. If I'm not mistaken, that is at 1200 hours, but I am betting that has rolled over, if it even still worked. Little hard to say. It's gotta be more than 1200 hours with the wear that I'm seeing on the undercarriage, but it could be. She could be that rare bird. Looking at the clutch pedal, it's not worn smooth by any means. Accelerator, brake pedal. The clutch pedal, I would say, is 50% as tall as the brake pedal, so 50% less material on here, just from the diamond tread. Kind of interesting. Beautiful to see the old girl out in the wild. Just could not get over it. I'm also going to take a couple of pictures. I want to take a picture of that, and I want to take a picture of the serial tag. So we'll go ahead and roll those in now. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the operator's platform because I foolishly opened that little box, and I don't know if you can see, that is a yellow jacket guarding its home. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time up here. This does kind of look like a case seat, more modern of course. Standard operator's platform here. Got your instrument cluster over here. Throttle right there. Hydraulic oil right there. Transmission fluid right there. You guys have seen this on my channel, but this would have certainly made a man out of you back in the day. This is where they would have had the umbrella, trying to get some shade on the operator. That's a good thought. Awesome to see. Taking a look at the boom here. Kind of interesting. This is a hinged boom right there. And I am curious, perhaps somebody that's running sideliners could tell me, could you flip the boom down and then lift more with the old girl? Lift a heavier pipe, things of that nature. If you know more, please comment. I've never even seen a side boom in operation like this, but I would sure love to one of these days. Let's move on back around. Have this massive counterweight on hydraulics. This could be lowered down. Right there, you can see it's chained up right there so that she doesn't plunge. Would do that with heavier loads, I would assume. Drop your counterweight down, then you could lift more. Would get farther away from the machine, so that makes sense. Curious if this big chunk of iron was added later. You know how guys in the field say, well, we need a little bit more weight on there, so let's put on a 3-inch thick solid steel chunk. Or perhaps that's factory, I don't know. This is a large cast piece, as you can see here. But that's mild steel, if I had to guess, since it's torch cut. Have a little bit of safety apparatus around the Gearboxes here, dual chains going up to each worm gear there for independent cable control. Awesome to see. Front idlers are like new. Wow, very tight in here. Don't see any issues there. They welded that compression spring track adjuster nut. Wow, getting tongue-tied already. Might need to wrap this up sooner rather than later. Got the little 188 gas in it. Cutie oil bath air cleaner. That's the one I need for my 310. That one's not all banged up. Nose profile here. What a honey. Wow. Missing old Abe right here. That's a shame. Missing the old Case Eagle. Has the front puller here. Kind of unique. Curious what this would have been. Perhaps you sideliner guys would know. It's on both sides. It's kind of unique. Maybe they would wind their pull rope on there. Completely unsure. Big old tall stack on it. They weren't ever out in the sticks getting that smacked off or beat off of the old machine. More orange paint coming through on the undercarriage. Like to see that. Here you can see they welded that nut as well to the track adjuster, the tension adjuster, I should say. Good looking old girl. Let's check the oil in her once. Ooh. Poor old girl. Poor old girl. She's dripping water, boys. That's a shame. That's a shame to see that. It being a gasser, it's not as desirable, let's say, as the diesel. But still, a sad end to the old girl. Curious if that's a crack. Almost looks like a crack. Not sure what to say about that. Yeah, she's steady dripping. Don't know if you can see that right down there. Right down there. That is water drops. Let's lay down. They've got the belly pan off, so let's lay down and take a look at it, see if it's bulged. I hate to say it, guys, but I'd say that engine is over with. That is all bulged out from freezing and heaving. That's a crying shame. The belly pan was torched off, looks like. Perhaps this was actually shortened right here. I think they shortened the belly pan. Probably were tired of servicing it, and when you're doing sideline work, you're on a clear runway anyway. It's not like they were hopping over boulders and stuff. Oh, there we just caught a drip. Don't know if you guys saw that or not, but that's a crying shame for the mighty old 310. I think with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to wrap up. Another beautiful, beautiful old walk around. Another beautiful, beautiful old Case 310G. Slumbering. I'd love to own them all and bring them back, but unfortunately, the old budget does not allow for something like that. Awesome to see a rare old sideliner like this, still going with mostly intact original undercarriage, if I had to guess. A little hard to say. It's definitely a good idea for an old sideline to become a sign. Kind of like it. Again, I'm really gracious to the company that let me film this old girl out in the wild. My jaw totally hit the ground when I was just cruising in the Jeep and ran smack dab into a beautiful old Survivor. With all of that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up right here. I would like to thank everyone that came along on the adventure today. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you next time.